Hi friends, it's Miss B. Miss you lots. Wanted to share a little activity today with coins. They're really cool and lots of things you can do with them. So I just want to show you a few and hopefully you'll get some time to work with coins whenever you're bored and you can challenge yourself with these things. All right, let's start off. I'm going to tilt my screen down and show you what I have. Just pick out a handful of coins. I have about 20 or so coins. It doesn't really matter if they're all quarters or all dimes. I have a variety. And as you can tell, I'm just laying it all on the table. Number one thing to do, let's get them all facing the right direction. So let's turn them all so that they're face up. So I'm looking through mine to make sure that I turn them all face up. All right, one more. Once I have them all face up, we're going to practice picking them up and kind of putting them in a line. So this is how I want you to pick them up. We're going to pick them up and hide them in our hand. Oh, did you see how I did that? I used my pointer finger or my number one finger and my thumb, pick them up, and then I drop it in my hand and use my other fingers to get them back in there. Keep picking them up and hiding them in your hand until you get all the coins picked up. It can be a lot of coins. If it's too many, that's okay. Instead of using 20, use about 10. Now I want to pick out, I'm going to put the biggest coins first. So I'm going to look in my hand and I know that the biggest coin, the size, not necessarily the value, is the quarter. So I'm going to lay all my quarters out in a row so that all the faces are up and all the faces are facing the right direction or the same direction. So when I put all my quarters out, all my faces are facing the same direction. So the quarter is the biggest size. What would come next? You're right, the nickel. So I'm going to lay my nickels out so that the faces are on top. I'm noticing something. The faces on the nickel and the quarter face the same direction. All right, now I kind of have a lot of the next ones which should fit. So I have pennies, I have dimes. Which one do you think is the next size? You were right if you said the pennies. So I'm going to put my pennies down next to my nickels. Oh, I'm noticing something. My pennies, the faces are going a different direction. And I'm going to keep putting them down. I'm coming near the end of my paper. This is kind of like when we're writing in school and we come to the end of our paper. Now, if I keep going, I may run off my paper. And I don't want to like crowd them all on top of one another because I wouldn't be able to read them. So what do I need to do? I have to go down to the next line. So I'm still going to make my coins, but I'm going to come down to the next line so that my coins are just like letters and words. I go to the next line. All right, so now I'm going to put my dimes down because they're the next smallest ones. So there, just like I write, I put my coins in order from the biggest to the smallest. And when I got to the end, I went down to the next row and started a new line. I didn't bunch them all up at the end because I want to be able to see them. So now I have 2 rows of my coins. And there's something I noticed. The quarter, the nickel, and the dime all face that direction. But my pennies are facing the other direction. The faces face the other direction. Something I never noticed before until I lined all my coins up like this. Kind of neat, huh? All right, here's our next task. We're going to pick them all up, but we're going to alternate hands. So one time pick it up with the right, next one pick it up with the left. Right and hide it, left and hide it. 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 Keep going until you end up with 2 handfuls of coins. There's my 2 handfuls of coins. I can open them up and see them without dropping, and I can close them. Again, if you have too many coins and they're falling out, use a little bit less. All right, here's the real challenge of the day. We're gonna see if we can make these coins move in my hand so that they're in my thumb and finger, and then I can place them down at the same time. So try that again. Move them to your thumb and your finger, put them down at the same time. Keep going. Nope, don't lose them. I almost had one fall out. Keep going. You know what? I'm going to put one on the top because I didn't make it. I don't want to run out of space. I got to keep moving them so that I have this straight line. And I did it right in the fact that I have the same in each hand. There's my 2 new rows of coins. Nice job. To end, we're going to make a piggy bank out of one of our hands. So take one hand, close the pinky and your ring finger into your hand. Now you have your thumb and your 2 fingers out. Curl them around a little bit so they make a hole, but I can't see through it because I covered the bottom. So I have this little like basket in my hands. This is my bank. Our last thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up 1 row of coins and hide them in our hand. And then we're going to deposit them in our bank, 1 at a time. The reason why I'm really working on this in hand, this is what this is called, in hand manipulation. So you're manipulating something in your hand. So let me show you. When you manipulate this in your hand and you use these fingers and these other hand, just like I'm doing here, your pinky and your second finger stay still. This is the same way you use a pencil. When you pick a pencil up, you use your thumb and your 2 fingers, and you don't have to use those other 2 fingers. They're supposed to stay in your palm. So then you're ready to write. So when we practice picking up things and hiding them in our hand, we're practicing the same kind of skills we need to hold the pencil. The same skill we would use to pick up our pencil and move it in our hand so that we can write. This is a great way to practice those fine motor skills you need for your hands. Okay, I have my handful. I have my 1 coin I picked up. I'm making my deposit in my bank. Yeah. Got to make sure I get them without losing them. Ta-da! Nice job. Hope you had fun playing with coins. Can't wait to see you next. Bye-bye, guys.